Thank you all for coming, and especially thanks for staying till the very end. So today I'm going to talk on transforming travel using Strapi for one of our customers called as Yatra. So before that, a short intro about myself. I am Prabal. I am an engineer, solution architect, and head of CMS practice at Successive Digital. I've been working around with JavaScript and related technologies for over a decade now. And we are Successive Digital. We are a digital transformation agency. We help our customers with consultancy and strategize their business and technical needs, and also have a one-stop solution for all their development, from front-end applications to mobile applications, cloud setups for them, data analytics, and Gen AI development. We have had a privilege of working with all these customers in our experience in our 12 years journey in the industry. And in order to solution such great applications, we have various strategic partners, and one of our proud partners being Strapi. So enough talking about myself and my organization, and moving into the application for the day. So Yatra is a very famous travel platform in India. It has been in the market since 2006. It is not only a very big B2C travel operator, it also is one of the leaders in the B2B segments. So if you end up using any credit card platforms, especially related to Indian banks, and you want to cash your points for booking flights and hotels, you would probably end up using a Yatra API to do that booking. So they have had a very good revenue increase over the last year, and also they have a very high customer use base of 10 million active monthly users, and which translates into a very high traffic, and which was also one of the problems that we had to solve from them, especially when using Strapi. So they have services in hotels, flights, buses, trains, and cabs. And since you can see they have been in the industry for 2006, they are still using front-end technologies that were popular in 2006. And that was one of the major challenges doing a transformation journey for them. And doing this in a very segmented manner, not as a big bang release, was something we helped strategize with them as well. And currently, we are going to look into how we sliced their hotel booking journey and transformed it using headless CMS and modern front-end development frameworks to give them very good results. So first, before we go into the solutioning phase, let us see the challenges that they faced. So they were lacking a modern front-end framework technology. They had very tight coupling within their legacy CMS and their front end, which made it very difficult to integrate any API-based content management technology. They had very low performance scores and very poor UX. Still, very old UX approaches were being used to do the hotel booking journeys, to do the flight booking journeys. And this obviously resulted in very high development effort. It's very difficult to find engineers that still work on those technologies because everyone has moved to new technologies. And this also resulted in very poor SEOs. If you want to search and if you want to visit certain destinations, you won't see Yatra in one of the top 5 Google search categories, unfortunately. And if you had to change a meta tag, it needed a complete development cycle. You need to first raise a requirement with the dev team. They would make that change. Then they would take that change all the way through their route to live to production. They had broken XML sitemaps, which was also a challenge for them because they had hundreds of SEO pages, and some of them were broken, which impacted their indexing. And even if things were well crawled, the interfaces, or it was not that seamless because the schema markups were missing. Their legacy in-house CMS that they built using a dev team was no longer in support. They were not able to resolve any bugs or solve any new or provide any new features in that CMS platform. It was missing a link with a digital asset management solution, which is very critical for modern applications. It was also missing CDN integration for their assets. So their assets will still take seconds, which ideally should load in a couple of milliseconds in modern applications. And India being a very diverse country, and even the world being diverse, you need to have a capability of running marketing campaigns. Running marketing campaigns for, let's say, an event like New Year, Black Friday, Christmas, or a lot of smaller community-centered festivals that are there. And the CMS was just not letting them do that. They only were able to target at major festivals, had to make code changes for them to set up a new theme of their application and release it, which was unnecessarily expensive and could have focused their dev efforts on something else. When it came to content management experience, their marketing team had no workflows. They had a very big marketing team. And it was, and it was really heartbreaking to see that they had no workflows, no approval cycles. They had no auditing of their content. Whatever was published did not have a trail. You were not able to backtrack any changes. There was no preview experience as well. Whatever you added to their content management platform straight away went to live. And this caused a lot of scalability issues. A tightly coupled front end and back end was only able to scale when they threw a lot of money at the infrastructure. They were not able to sometimes handle very high concurrent traffic. And like I told you, they have around 10 million active users. So this was becoming challenging, which further led to low web vitals, low lighthouse scores, which led to a lot of challenge for their SEO as well. So this led to a very long discovery phase with them, where we did a data-driven exercise with them on which CMS platform is best suited. We know there are a lot of CMS platforms in the market these days. So it is our responsibility to provide to our customers the best CMS platforms based on their need, why certain front-end frameworks are best suited for them, and why they should take such a decision, because they have developed this beast of a platform for 15 years, and they really needed to commit on certain technology for this migration, which would also take months to complete. So we find a hero in Strapi. I heard someone say that there is a very thin line between what is cringe and what is a good content in a tech conference. I'll say I just managed to save myself. So, so the first thing that we fixed for them was to have a good dev experience. When we started with them, you had to first merge a pull request, run a Jenkins job to create a build, then further use another Jenkins job to deploy an image out of that, then further use a Jenkins job to deploy it on any of your root to live environments. We streamlined all of that using a single CI/CD setup, where we used something like GitHub Action, where we were using a strategy of build once. So an image that you see run on your dev was the same image that went all the way till production. We had a quality gate check in terms of linting unit test cases and dev-driven integration test. We also had static analysis for your code smells, for accessibility, and code reusability and complexity with SonarQube. And we also had Bearer doing static analysis for security on code, because them being a very big platform, security was a great concern for them, and this was just the tip of the iceberg when it came to security. We also had that deployment image registry management set up for them, so we were able to deploy, backtrack with just images quite well. We were even tagging those images. So when it came to doing hot fixes, our job became really easy. The next thing that we did and solved for them was deployment. So they were not just using a self-hosted version of cloud. They were using an on-premise hardware and server in 2024. So we had to make sure that whatever we are suggesting to them could be moved to a cloud platform, which was a separate exercise that we were doing. So we suggested Dockerized and orchestrated containers with Kubernetes for them, which were very easy to scale. And with an application like Yatra, where your front end is very key and it needs to be up every time, it also needs to ensure that your CMS is never down. So we had the CMS run in very high availability and zero downtime manner, where it was load balanced and ensured that it was always up, it was never down, even with any exceptions. We set up a storage layer where we were using PostgreSQL and simple storage solutions for assets. And when you are making your content management system highly available, you have to ensure that caching is also well connected using platforms like Redis. And when we are content modeling a complex platform like this, you have to take a decision whether you want to have performance with you or you want to make your content model much more user-friendly to the content managers. If you are going to make it much more user-friendly to the content managers, it is going to have a lot of relations. Relations are going to give birth to a lot of joins, which is going to impact your performance. So caching help us reduce a 2-second GraphQL call to something in double-digit milliseconds. And with appropriate customized cache busting logic, we were able to save a lot of hits that were happening on our database as well, which again help us to serve a high volume of traffic with Yatra. Using CDN solutions like Akamai also enabled us to serve assets quite well and save a lot of cost on our simple storage solutions direct hit. And having a security layer with WAF and Shield and SSL, just your basic standard check, really help you out. So this is something we have to do because some of our customers, they like us to integrate Strapi in their existing stack, which I think Strapi Cloud already takes care for you. But we have had a very good framework set up for it. So we have this well tested. And also we were able to provide them with observability and monitoring tool like Dynatrace to do all the monitoring that they needed on this system. So, so we selected a front-end framework in Next.js because we were making a responsive application for them, and also a native mobile application in React Native. We were able to achieve very good web vitals because Next.js helped us to do a lot in terms of performance improvement in our code base, from ensuring we have lazy loaded modules wherever we need, using modularized CSS wherever we need. So the exact chunks which were being loaded on the page, most of them were in use. If they were not used, we were able to optimize them. Have our assets in modern web development standards to images in WebP and images of particular size. And also, the server-side rendering of Next further contributed to a very good SEO score and a good performance as well. One of the main issues that we solved from them was their content flows and their approval journeys. So we created 3 different roles in their content approval journeys: an author, an editor, and a publisher. So an author was someone who was creating an idea for the content, adding things to the backlog, assigning it with different categories. He then moved this to an in-progress state. Sorry if I did not mention, we did this as soon as Strapi v5 came out of its release candidate phase, and we were able to utilize the draft, published, and the modified functionalities that Strapi 5 provided. We had to create our own preview functionalities because the preview functionality was not available to us. but it worked pretty much similar, not as similar as the one we saw today, but pretty much similar in terms of the previewing capabilities. An author would further be able to add SEO tags, add assets, and then send it for review to the content editor, who can then further preview that content, check for formatting, redundancy, and then would further check it for clarity, tone, and SEO as well, which would then be ready to publish. And all of this would still be in draft state. None of it would appear on your live application. And once it was published, it was available on live. And there was obviously a back-to-backlog rejection flow as well, from the in-review phase to the draft phase. And entire journey was supported by notifications that would send you link, and that would help content managers and authors deep link into Strapi application. So whenever the content moved from one state to another, the system was smart enough to tell which users were supposed to get this notification. And with call to actions in those notifications, it would take them to the Strapi admin panel where they need to make the changes. We further enhanced this with an AI review agent, which would facilitate your ready for review flow. It would not block that flow. We are not in that state right now. But it worked on a similar grounds if someone would have used a PR review agent on their code base, an AI agent that reviews a pull request and suggests changes. This does something similar to the content that has been added up. And just to share some screenshots of our implementation, this would give you a score. And this was just to facilitate, act as a co-pilot to the content admins, not block their process. It would tell them what line can be improved on certain standard, and it would send these notifications to your emails as well as Slack, so you don't miss those notifications. And one of the major issues, SEOs. So we broke down the SEO problem into 4 main solutions, having a structured URL, which was possible using slugs, and possible using the existing content models. Ability to provide meta tags, which has a very good support in Strapi with the help of Strapi's inbuilt SEO plugin. Ability to use sitemaps. And sitemaps was something we had to solve one more issue in them, because there are one SEO page for every city that you have, and n number of flight SEO pages for every permutation and combination you can have for flights from, let's say, Delhi to Paris, from Paris to New York. So there were hundreds of such pages, hundreds of such sitemaps that we had to cater for. And being an SEO page, it needs to load in milliseconds. So we are not only caching them at our CDN layer with the help of HTML caching, we are also caching this content in CMS in Redis. So in order to help render those pages faster. Schema markup was something we were also able to achieve using the content models. So we were able to get structured JSON, which we would further pass down into our next application to render good schema markups. So something like Yatra has a lot of assets roaming around. And they went with Akamai as their image management solution. So instead of providing them with the capability of loading images from their local systems, we had Akamai Image Center integrated with Strapi. It provides you with REST images. And we hope this solution can be extended to other asset management platforms as well, where you get list of images from Akamai, where you sync them to the media library, and you don't have to upload content from your local system. You have a single source of truth for your assets in Akamai, which are transformed for different devices, transformed with appropriate size, transformed in the latest web standards like WebP, and it just syncs to Strapi, and you can select it right from there. Akamai also comes with its own CDN, which ensures a CDN URL is being pulled into Strapi, which you can further use to have faster load times on the front end. And this enabled us to scale quite well. So in order to summarize, this is what Strapi looked with their existing event-driven microservice architecture, where we were using Databricks for data warehousing need, Dynatrace for observability, and existing microservices they had for hotel booking, for payments, for SEOs, for flights, for buses. And it integrated quite well with their existing system. And it was a great success. So before I wind up, I have a short video from our customer
Hi,
to talk
I'm
about how
Bharat
Strapi
Malik,
went.
Senior Vice President at Yatra. Yatra is one of the leading travel portals serving millions of customers worldwide. We offer our customers flight, hotels, holidays, buses and trains with our digital experience and serving 700 plus corporate base. We are one of the best travel agencies in the country and our commitment to serve our customers globally. As part of our ongoing effort to enhance content agility and reduce dependency on engineering teams, we were looking for a modern and scalable CMS solution, particularly for managing our hotels module. The existing setup lacked flexibility and we needed something that could empower our marketing and content teams to make changes quickly and independently. That is where Strapi came into the picture, and a headless CMS that gave us the freedom to structure content the way we wanted and distribute it across the platform easily. We partnered with Successive Digital to help us evaluate, architect, and implement an end-to-end Strapi solution. Their team not only guided us with the right tech stack and architecture, but also ensured a smooth transition by integrating Strapi and Next.js seamlessly with our existing system. From discovery to rollout, it was a collaborative and efficient engagement. Since the implementation, we have seen a significant improvement in content turnaround time and reduced back and forth with tech teams. Our marketing and content teams can now manage and update hotel content much faster, which has directly contributed for us to create more SEO pages, resulting in overall Google ranking. Overall, with good core web vitals, we see a lot of potential with an improved user experience. We are glad to have partnered with Successive Digital. Their technical expertise and domain understanding made a big difference.
So the business outcome that came out of this engagement was we were able to move 100% of their hotel booking traffic to this new platform we developed. They were finally able to do marketing campaigns, creating 4+ marketing campaigns every month, ability to theme their application based on these campaigns, improve SEO rankings for their hotel city pages, and we provided them with a very good immersive user experience for hotel booking journey, which was very difficult in their previous UI. And I think that's all from my end. In case anyone wants to connect on any of the solutions that we did for other customers, we are available upstairs to connect. Thank you very much for attending the call.